I just got my hands on the Ninjutso Sora V2, and I think we got a serious contender here. It's lightweight, it's fast, and yeah, it's pink. Ninjutso made their way onto the scene circa 2019, hitting big success with the OG Sora V1 in 2023. And they've made a few changes in the updated Sora V2, and some of them you'd expect, while others leave you scratching your head on why they did not change it. Let's take a look at it and find out if $100 is worth the upgrade. Disclaimer, Ninjutso sent me this mouse for review but has no control over my content. Everything you're about to hear are my own original thoughts and opinions. For $100, the Sora V2 comes in 3 different color options: white, black, and pink. I was obviously obligated to pick pink because, you know, I like pink. What are you gonna do about it? You gonna fight me? You gonna fight me? Packaging says a lot about a brand, and when the box looks as good as this, it tells me you really care about your product. Inside the box, we'll find the manual, holographic stickers, 2 sets of PTFE skates, you'll see why in a moment, a pink braided USB-C to USB Type-A cable, a wireless receiver, and the Ninjutso Sora V2. The first thing I noticed about this mouse is that the skates did not come pre-installed, which is actually something I'm a big fan of. And as somebody who's disassembled something like 15 mice at this point, it's going to make it easier for me to take it apart in just a minute. The second thing I noticed is how light it is. Ninjutso got the weight all the way down to 40 grams. The coating on the shell, which by the way is pink in case I forgot to mention it, is on the polished matte side. I'd say it's almost slippery to the touch. So if this isn't your style, you may want to consider grips. But overall, it felt very comfortable in my man hands. It's pink. This is a medium-sized mouse measuring in at length 119.2 millimeters by width 59 millimeters by height 37.3 millimeters. The symmetrical shape feels almost identical to another brand, with the hump starting in the back middle, with the shape ever so slightly changed from the original Sora V1. Can you guess which mouse shape it's similar to? Place your bets in the comments. I'm very thankful that Ninjutso included 2 sets of skates, and honestly, this should be common practice at this point in the industry. Everybody should be doing this. There's no reason not to. Installing the PTFE skates, we'll find that there's a bit of a break-in period like most other PTFE skates, but after you put some time into them, the Sora V2 glides around with ease, so you'll be headshotting noobs in comp in no time. For fingertip and claw grip users, this shape is right up your alley. I found this incredibly comfortable to use for extended periods of time playing competitive FPS games. By the way, the shape it's most similar to is the Pulsar X2 V2. And to confirm my suspicion, if we go to eloshapes.com, you can see that they're almost identical, even with similar finger indentations on M1 and M2. Removing the 4 screws on the bottom of the mouse, we'll be able to see what makes the Sora V2 tick on the inside. We'll find that it comes equipped with the PixArt PA3395 sensor. This is an off-the-shelf sensor manufactured by a Taiwanese-based company called PixArt Imaging Inc. They actually manufacture most sensors found in mice today. Look at the wall behind me. Most of those sensors are $33.95 in those mice. It delivers precise tracking and the accuracy is top-notch, but it's worth mentioning that this is the same exact sensor found in the Sora V1. I'm a little sad that Ninjutso didn't take this opportunity to upgrade to the latest and greatest PixArt sensor, the 3950. With that being said though, there wouldn't be any real-world changes in performance, so I can see why they wouldn't change from the 3395. For FPS gamers, especially those who rely on micro movements and pinpoint accuracy, this sensor works great, especially with proprietary features like Motion Sync. Motion Sync basically functions by better managing the polling events between your mouse and your PC. A polling event is when the mouse sends data to your PC. It's measured in hertz. 500 hertz will equal 500 communications per second. Out of box, this mouse supports 1000 hertz polling, just like the original Sora V1, but available separately is a Snappy Fire dongle for $20, which unlocks the 2K, 4K, and 8K hertz polling rates. I won't lie, They're losing points since I wish the Snappy Fire dongle was included with the mouse. Without it, your maximum polling rate will be 1000 hertz. But most people won't notice the increased polling anyway. So why do you need it, guys? You don't. Surprise. We're talking about shaving milliseconds to microseconds off your end-to-end latency. And it's not perceivable by humans. There's definitely diminishing returns running at higher polling rates. Let me explain. My PC is spec'd with a 5900X and a NVIDIA 4080. Any game I play with 8K mouse polling will lag due to the additional resources the PC needs to have in order to run the mouse that quickly. I just don't think it's worth it, guys. Not to mention, your battery life is going to be reduced by more than half. And since we're already on a smaller 250 milliamp hour battery, you may want to consider leaving that polling rate at 1000 hertz anyway, just to get the most out of your charge. And that's with no RGB, guys. That's just another thing to consider if you like those glowing gaming mice. But who needs RGB when you have a pink mouse? Did I mention it's pink? With moderate day-to-day use, you should get about 80 hours of battery at 1K polling. I've been charging this thing every other week and using it for about 3 to 4 hours a day for reference. And that's just what I was getting. Your mileage may vary. When it comes to the actual click experience, the Sora V2 is equipped with Omron optical switches for M1 and M2, which means you'll experience an almost instantaneous response when you click. And I mean that too. I broke out the XLAT and tested this mouse. The average latency was about 2 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. Not as fast as some other mice, but no person is ever going to be able to tell the difference of milliseconds of latency. I don't care what you guys say, you can't do it. I would describe this click experience as rigid, tight, and tactile. We get a total of 5 mouse buttons with no DPI selector button. Here's a quick sound test. The mouse wheel is rubberized and has more of a muted sound, but the M3 mouse wheel button has a definitive click, which I like. Now, if you wanted to rebind any of these mouse buttons, Ninjutso offers a web UI named Ninjaforce for mouse customization. If you've used one mouse software, you've pretty much used them all at this point, and the Sora V2 is no exception. You can pretty much tweak your mouse in whatever way you'd like to. The Sora V2 comes with a standard issue 1-year limited free replacement warranty and a full refund if returned within a 30-day window of purchase. The Ninjutso Sora V2 offers great performance for $100, and I think you're getting a fair price for what they're offering. However, I do think it's a bit lame that the 8K polling dongle is not included and the sensor wasn't upgraded to a 3950. How come? Why not? Even without those upgrades though, I still think you're getting excellent value. This is something I would recommend to anybody who's into competitive first-person shooter games who prioritize a lightweight design, reliability, ultra-low latency switches with a shape suitable for claw or fingertip grip. Additionally, I would say that this is a solid alternative to other lightweight mice on the market, including Final Mouse, Pulsar, and WL Mouse. If this sounds like you, then the Ninjutso Sora V2 is a clear winner. Plus, I'm not sure I mentioned it, but it comes in pink, guys, which helps you click heads. We all know that pink is great for clicking heads. If you already have a Sora V1, however, I don't think you should upgrade. I don't think enough has really changed to justify that. So hold on to the V1s for a bit longer. Thank you for watching. As always, I hope you learned something, and until next time, GG.